Hello everyone and welcome back to Play for Fun. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm going to show you how I built this detailed and expansive city. We'll go through all the steps together. I hope you enjoy it and find it exciting. Let's start by taking a look at the beginning. You might remember the video I posted on this channel 8 months ago called 100 Hours of Dedication. This video is currently the most viewed on my channel, and I'm really grateful to all of you for that. Many of you wanted me to show more videos of this city, or even wanted me to release the save file on Paradox Mods. Well, here's the thing, I really wanted to do all of that, but I couldn't. A few months ago, I had a problem with my PC, and unfortunately, my SSD failed, making the files unrecoverable. Since one of the things I lost was the CS2 save files and I couldn't share them with you, I decided to rebuild this city and create an upgraded, newer version of it. You can now download and experience the roads-only version on Paradox Mods. I have some plans for this, which I'll explain at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned. Are you ready to start the video? It's going to be a long and detailed one, and I hope you all enjoy watching it. First of all, I need to choose a map to start with. I think the San Francisco map is a perfect choice for this city. I'll also enable the unlock all and unlimited money options and get started. The first step is to choose the right spot to start. Then, I'll create a flat surface in this area and clear away everything in it so I can work on the design I want to implement. I want to build the central part of my city first, and then create the rest around it. This part of the city I'm working on is the heart of the main and largest circle. So, it definitely needs to be circular. First, I'll create a large circle and then implement the rest of the design within it. This area of the city is meant to catch a lot of attention, so it needs to be ambitious and visually appealing. I want it to have a multi-layered and multi-level design. To achieve this, I'll need to elevate the next layer and then create it. Right here, on this elevated layer, I'll create the second circle. I'll smooth out the edges of the circle and get ready to build the next layer on top. First, I'll create the next circle, and then I'll add the central area and the final layer for this section. Layer by layer, floor by floor. This is the highest level and the core of my design, so it needs to be as unique as possible. I want to design this area so that the main circle, with the tall central building, is in the middle, surrounded by 4 large water pools. Later on, I can add another 4 pools on the lower level, which you'll see as we go along. This section is one area I wanted to be very different from before, with a lot of attention to detail. You'll see this design, but before finalizing it, I went through exactly 8 other designs that I didn't like. After many iterations, I finally arrived at this final design. This part also serves as the junction for the main highways, with unique interchanges and entrances or exits designed for it. One of the challenges of this multi-layer design was ensuring access to all the designed areas, which I'll explain further as we go along. For the center of my design, I'm going all out to make the most of the space. This is where the Anarchy mod saves the day. I can add a residential building right next to the administrative one in the center. With no restrictions, I can place the new building inside the existing one or anywhere I want. The only rule is that the entrances must be accessible. This way, I can maximize this small space and create a uniquely designed building in the end. And I can even add a commercial building on the other side. And here, with the help of the Recolor mod, I can change the colors of different parts of these buildings however I want. This way, they can match each other and the overall design perfectly. How cool is that? 3 buildings in one, with a unique and distinctive design. Doesn't it look fantastic? I hope you agree with me. Now it's time for the 4 surrounding pools. After creating the desired depth, I can use the water feature mod to add the water source and fill the pools. So far, everything is coming together perfectly and starting to take shape. Now it's time to complete the design of the lower layer. As I mentioned earlier, I want to add another 4 large pools on the opposite side of the upper layer. So, let me tell you about the decorations. With this feature, you can use various surfaces as needed without any mods, in pure vanilla mode. A little imagination and creativity go a long way here. You can combine these elements with small parks and tree planting to decorate different areas to your liking in various ways. I'll show you this stage in fast motion. You can compare the before and after, and I'm sure you'll be amazed. For now, to help visualize the final design, I've placed 4 surrounding buildings that I might change later. As for the roads, I want the upper layer to connect directly to the outer circles of the larger island. I'll place these temporary bridges to complete my design. Alright, that's enough decoration for now. Next, I want to determine the distance between this inner island and the edge of the larger circle. This will help me accurately start building the larger circular area and complete its connections to this central island. The height I've planned for the main part of the city is exactly level with the second layer of the island. I'll create the required surface at this height, and then establish the main circle that will form the edge of the larger circular area. The space between these two sections will be filled with water. I'll adjust the height as needed to prepare it. With the creation of the larger section, the design of this area will become clearer. For better access in this part, I'll create a connecting path between the 2 layers of the central island. Overall, there are several connections to the main area, and this interlayer connection will be helpful too. The lower level, which is at a lower elevation than the rest, is meant to be a large park and a walking area for my citizens. It will only have pedestrian paths and no vehicle access. Now I can expand the outer circles to complete the design and prepare the area that will be covered with water. I have a special design in mind for this part. I want the central circle to be an incomplete one and fill the lower section with water. The water will flow into this part and surround the central island. I want to create an airport island in this section, just below the notch of the main circle. I think it will be a great design and will look attractive in parallel with the central island once it's complete. For the highways, I plan to place them at a higher elevation around the island and connect them to the main highways from all 4 sides. I'll ensure to design the entrances and exits with a unique layout to make sure all routes are properly integrated. Alright, Here we are at the starting point for the main highway connection and extending the highways from all 4 directions of the city. Designing an intersection that allows all routes to connect smoothly, fits well with the city layout, and looks aesthetically pleasing around this central island has been quite the puzzle. I tried several designs before arriving at the one I'll be creating now. And after all that trial and error, I genuinely think this design you'll see is the best possible solution for this area. Next up, you'll see me connecting the highways to this central area and adding some road details. Let's dive into one of the most crucial parts of designing this central section, the intersections and highway entrances and exits. As I mentioned, I've tried various designs, and the one I'm about to implement can handle the traffic load and provide excellent access to all sections. The first step is to place a pair of elevated highways on either side of the main roads. These will be U-turn routes that will be placed on both sides of the main highway. These auxiliary routes will provide access to all entrances and exits. Let's proceed with precision. I'll create the highways with equal spacing from both sides. Perfect. Now, I'll determine the exact measurements for the cuts on each side. These markings can be easily done with these roads and removed later. They act as handy measuring tools. Connecting them like this is straightforward. Alright, the first step is successfully completed. It's crucial for the measurements to be as equal as possible. If they're not precise, the final design won't have the desired aesthetic appeal. Now we just need to repeat this formula for the other connections. It's important that the roads are functional, providing access from all directions, and that the measurements are accurate so nothing is too small or too large. It might not seem easy at first glance, but trust me, after a few tries, it becomes much simpler. Just focus on bringing your design vision to life. It's incredibly rewarding. Alright, with the intersections and highway entrances and exits around the central part, and the central island completed, we're making great progress. Now, it's just down to adding some decorations around the island and tidying up the main part of the city in the larger circle with a few finishing touches and details. Here, I will add some parks and parking lots to make the main island a bit busier. Overall, in this city, I will build a huge number of large custom parks. With the help of the Find It mod, you can create and add a lot of things to your cities, and that's exactly what I will do. It just takes a bit of patience and creativity. There's nothing you can't do. For example, in this part, I will turn this small section into a large park, shaping it so that it stretches across the entire area as a large circle. Here, I've drawn the desired surface, and after planting trees, I can use the Find It mod to add the elements I think it needs, like these benches. This approach makes the area not only functional but also visually appealing. Additionally, you can install these floodlights to make the area stunning and eye-catching at night, or use smaller pedestrian lights. There's so much to be done. I plan to add this type of park extensively throughout my city. By focusing on the details like lighting, benches, and landscaping, we can create spaces that are not only functional but also beautiful and inviting. The right touches can truly transform an area, making it a joy for everyone to experience. Creating things like these parks is very time-consuming, and not everyone might have the patience for it. But these are exactly the elements that make your city unique, and I genuinely enjoy doing it. Plus, it's such a satisfying process to see your vision come to life. Alright, as the final step for this episode, I plan to decorate the walking area around the central island with trees and lights. After that, I'll talk a bit about the process of creating these videos with you, and we have a very important section coming up. Alright, guys, I truly appreciate all the support you've given on the previous video up to this point. I really value all your encouragement. I always strive to improve the content I provide. I know the videos I'm producing now aren't perfect, but I'm always trying to move toward perfection, both in the details of the cities I build and in the videos and their editing. For this project, I've worked on it for over 20 days, and so far, I have around 660 gigabytes of raw and unedited files, showing more than 46 hours of recorded time. I'm doing my best to show you the useful parts of building this city. While I want to show you the details, I also have to be mindful not to overdo it and make the videos too long and potentially boring for some viewers. Overall, I'm working on it, and my aim is to get the next episode out quickly. Thank you again. And a special shout out to you, the amazing person who made it to the end of this video. Yep, I'm talking to you. Thanks a ton. Stay tuned for the next episode, and until then, happy building.